What a putrid offering. Don't fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
I hate whiskey. I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. The Lost Battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage. Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy. I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again. up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
I'm coming!
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it. A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
The sender's label mentions warehouse.
That's right.
And you think...
That is go to...
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there. I used to be an avid reader. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then. All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater. Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
almost there. Stay on board. There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
You've seen how old this thing is. If we force it too much, we'll break everything.
You can't do that.
But it's only a fish.
A fish? You've got no idea. Don't badmouth what you don't know, or you'll pay for it for sure.
Okay, that's enough. Step back and let us do our job. The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important. I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy! They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us in trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine. Broken. This place seems half abandoned.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins, but that's all I'll get from them. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. This blackboard hasn't been used in a long while. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain Cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
With whom, I wonder? I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
I see grounds for not right. Well, there is no, and the weather is rough.
You saw what happened. He's the troublemaker.
Oh, you're a true mainlander. A real princess. You strut around with your la-di-da ways, and then, as soon as the pressure arises, you start squealing. You don't have what it takes to drink my whiskey. You've got to earn it.
I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
I see grounds for not right. Well, there is no, and the weather is rough, and the winds do blow.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Drinking of strong beer.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
I heard the Hawkins family owned a warehouse on the docks.
An old family of ship owners.
Tell me something I don't already know.
They were made much richer by the miraculous catch.
You shouldn't talk about the dead like that.
We're not speaking ill, we're just saying that Daniel Hawkins made a fortune without taking any risk.
There! You're speaking ill, you see?
It's your proof that the miraculous catch really did happen.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
If I had to wing all the girly boys,
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
He said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
So you said to yourselves that after such a feat, you could abandon your post.
It's just a little drink. We taught those guys a lesson.
We'll return right after. It's just that standing guard in this alley makes your throat dry.
That fool Fitzroy can't keep his dogs on a leash.
I'll have to send him a more clear-cut message. What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her?
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave. This ratchet device seems to be usable. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. It looks like there's a way in under this grate. I could use this old winch to lift the grating. This handle will be perfect for the winch. It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch. Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle. Damn, I broke it.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf? Has the cat got your tongue?
You've come for a fight. What I've got to say won't change a thing.
You're a quick learner. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Is your name Cat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not. Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
Ugh. I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm going to have to deal with her. Damnation. I broke it. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble.
Where do you think you're going?
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
What's the difference between a police officer and a private detective?
The badge?
Exactly. Apart from that piece of metal, there's nothing that sets us apart.
You think so?
We're looking for the same thing, you and I.
Okay. Spare me the next verse. I'll tell you what I know. There are sailors who think that there's a beast prowling around the docks. Then again, these guys panic at the thought of bringing a rabbit onto a boat, so...
I see.
And there are others who would like to use the warehouses for their goods.
Who are they?
Sorry. I really can't talk about them.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy! They're cops. They can't understand.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type. You're back again. What can I do for you?
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
bet you don't see one like her every day, do you?
Yes, Cat is an extraordinary woman.
Damn right. There's nobody more intimidating than her on the docks. Except the captain, of course. But you're lucky that she left you alive. She must think that you can be of use to her. With that, please do excuse me, because I'd prefer not to be seen talking with you for too long.
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I owe you. You don't know how to fight, but at least you've got guts.
Yeah, aching guts.
Huh. I've got them too. But you don't hear me whining like a pooch who's lost its leash. You didn't back down. Something that I respect. So understand by that, if I catch you again, you'll carry a more permanent reminder of our encounter. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
I'm investigating the deaths of the Hawkins family.
It's very nice of you to tell me the truth so openly, but it's also really stupid of you. You really don't seem to know the area. Let me give you a little advice. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us, and they'll be here long after we are gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
Think it over. I've seen what you're capable of. And you didn't miss me.
I accept the compliment. Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me, and I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
I don't think I'm ready to pay the price.
As you wish. But I think you'll be back.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shyster.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm not here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pierce, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again. I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere. How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them.
There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get us into trouble.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
My God.
You again.
Of strong beer. I had the wing of the girly boys. I was
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. They saved dock water from famine.
I'd sooner be snug in a dead fall tub, drinking of strong beer.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Then,
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
I'd sooner be snug in a dead fall tub, drinking of strong beer.
That'll be all for now.
Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
And the winds do blow.
The doctor, what did he say?
He
left.
My God.
I'd sooner be snug in a dead fall.
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I owe you. You don't know how to fight, but at least...
Yeah.
Huh, you didn't... So tell me.
I'm fascinated by the history of the whaling station.
Huh. You certainly don't lack style. But enough of the jokes. You reek of private eye. Who did you come for?
The Hawkins family.
Now why doesn't that surprise me? A little advice, though. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole...
I need to get into the Hawkins where...
You're out of luck.
It's precisely...
Are you
Think it over. I've seen... And you...
Well, to be honest, but I'll go...
Sounds on.
I'm not. If I do, you'll be in... And I can't think about...
Do I have a choice?
Oh, we always have one, Detective. Follow me.
Nobody questions your authority here. I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit. And nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley. I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him.
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign.
We saw this guy poking around here.
It's fine. He's with me.
Oh. Okay.
Be a gentleman and move that for me. That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Ugh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? What happened here? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Look around you. Someone has settled in here. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed. but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
Huh. It's really that old.
Come on, let's leave the stories of the dead alone. They've nothing to do with your case anyhow. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial.
Poor kid.
What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary? And steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. Poor kid. Recently fallen. It's as if all life has abandoned the place. Sturdy and well sharpened. Sturdy and well sharpened. The axe is gone. I'd better be on my guard. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
You haven't forgiven yourself. You stay here to honor the memory of the deceased.
That's true. I want no more violence. No more tragedy.
It's painful to be the last one left.
You don't know how right you are. Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
No, I can't let you in. The mansion isn't safe.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
The sooner I carry out my investigation, the sooner I wrap up the case and return to Boston. After which, you'll never hear of me again.
Huh. I like the sound of that, but I have a better idea. You leave right now, and you never come back.
What are you doing?
Officer Bradley, this hood was trying to break into the mansion.
Do something, Bradley, or this story will have a nasty ending.
I vouch for him, Silas. He's working with us. We have reason to believe that someone entered the mansion and stole some paintings.
Impossible. I would have seen it.
Better safe than sorry. Now let us in. I promise to keep an eye on this one.
Okay, then. I'll leave the key with you. You could have told me that earlier, Sonny.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
What now?
Pierce, shall we enter?
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Pierce, daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Charles and Sarah's wedding, as painted by Sarah herself. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? They had a fight. Why? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did someone escape the fire? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? The lyrics of the drunken sailor. A sea shanty. This door is blocked from the outside. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. Locked. The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. The argument that led to their tragic end seems to have been simmering for some time. What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated, resorting to such a treatment. Perfect. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve? A barbiturate prescription from a certain Dr. Fuller. Such an excessive dose. Either this man is a charlatan, or Sarah's condition is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Bradley? Is that you?
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
Is anyone there? Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier. Where did he go? It looks like an old seaway map. Seems like this came from a log. There must be a link with the seaway map. This globe
You really
seems to
think
have
that
been
your
part of
fugitive
some
came in here?
mechanism.
I don't see any way out.
Doesn't work. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. It looks like a freehand map of dark water. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. I'd be better off not touching them for the moment. They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. There must be a link with the Seaway map. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Damnation. I can't budge these gears. I need a tool. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Have you seen the old maritime maps on Charles Hawkins' desk?
Strange. No ship has left Darkwater's shore for years. Maybe he kept them for sentimental reasons.
Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. There must be a link with the Seaway map. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. must be a link with the Seaway map. Doesn't work. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. There must be a link with the Seaway map. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Doesn't work. There must be a link with the Seaway map. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Looks like the navigational paths described in the log. Doesn't work.